Imagine if you could start your next virtual presentation in a way that engages any audience without feeling nervous about what to say or how to say it. And hey man, if you are feeling this, if you are with me, then you are going to love today's video because I'm going to teach you a simple process for doing exactly that and achieving almost instant influence. So hey, let's get into it. Let's get into it. Now, whoever you are, watching this right now, listening to this right now, whoever you are, entrepreneur, leader, executive, CEO, salesperson, customer services professional, whoever you are, your job in a virtual setting is to do this. Effortlessly receive attention, keep attention, and then earn the opportunity to become somebody's trusted guide so you can take them from pain to glory and solve their problem. So it all begins with effortlessly receiving attention. How do we do that? Well, allow me to introduce you to my 3-question stack the momentum method. The first question is a low friction question, and it goes a little something like this. Here's an example. All right, what's happening, people? Now, before we get into it, let's head on down to the chat function, and I want you to answer this question for me, okay? And don't lie now, okay? Don't lie now. How many of you hit snooze on your alarm this morning? Don't lie to me, okay? How many of you hit snooze on your alarm this morning? Yes or no? And then all of a sudden, bing, bing, bing. The chat function starts popping off. Boom, people are like, yes, no, I don't have an alarm clock. I allow my body to wake me up naturally. Oh yeah, the kids woke me up. Bang, 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 bang. Everybody is now getting involved in the chat function. Why? Here's why. It's a low friction question, meaning it has low levels of vulnerability and you are requesting a 1-word response from somebody. This is one of the very few times that I actually recommend starting with a closed-ended question when opening up a conversation with another human being or set of human beings in a virtual setting. I need you to ask a question which requires little conscious effort. If you say, could you tell me please what time you woke up in this morning and what your morning routine was? People are like, how many questions? That's 2 questions. What did I do? Too much. I'm not going to even respond. No momentum, no energy. Okay, so what we want to do is ask a very simple question. Could be anything. I just gave you a random example there. A simple question which requires a yes or a no, and then have fun with it. So, for example, Natalie, you said, I don't have an alarm clock. I allow my body to wake me up naturally. I love that, Natalie. But I'll tell you what, as a dad to 2 kids under 3, my natural alarm clock is my kid waking up screaming. You know what I'm saying? So there you go. You can play with it. You can have fun. You can introduce a little bit more of your personality. Enjoy it. Not, hello, my name is Ravi Rajani, and after several years of... No one cares, man, about your accolades, awards, and experience. They care about them, their problem, and being entertained along the way. You feel me? Start with a low friction question. Question number 2. Insert a medium friction question, meaning the vulnerability is a little bit higher, but now, instead of asking a closed-ended question, I'd like you to ask a quantitative question, and it could go a little something like this. All right, people, as you all know, today is about you learning how to become an influential storyteller, but I need you to be real with me, okay? So on a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate yourself as a storyteller today? On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate yourself as a storyteller today? All of a sudden, a little bit more friction, right? A little bit of vulnerability. So maybe less responses in the first few seconds, but suddenly, boom, 8 out of 10. Boom, 4 out of 10. 6 out of 10. And suddenly, this initial momentum, that is now building through people being honest and vulnerable in the chat gives others the permission to also respond with their number two. Now, there could be bias in the number, right? And some people, I had this last year, some people are really going to rate themselves. So back in January 2021, it must have been, don't quote me on the date, but this dude asked a similar question in the chat. And this dude said, yeah, I'm an 11. And I was like, okay, Mr. 11, I love it. Now, a lot of people say, oh, we got a troublemaker here. We got a troublemaker here. And no, that's a beautiful opportunity to identify your sidekick. Because a lot of the time, if there's somebody who believes that they're an 11 out of 10, a 9 out of 10, a 10 out of 10, whoever it is, whatever it is, you don't want to alienate them. You want to include them in your performance. You want to include them in the show. So for example, halfway through my presentation, if I'm saying, okay, this is how you deliver a story in less than 60 seconds, I could say, Jamie, Mr. 11 out of 10, okay? Given you have a wealth of experience when it comes to all things storytelling, what's your process for delivering succinct stories under pressure? We'd love to know. And you can allow them to give their perspective, and enjoy giving back to their teammates and make it a collaborative experience. Yes, you were the speaker, but you don't need to hog the mic the whole time. You know what I'm saying? Allow the edge cases, the 1 out of 10s, the 2 out of 10s, or the 11 out of 10s to be a part of the show. Now, pro tip, you could actually also ask this question at the end of your presentation. So you could then say, okay, people, I've just taken up 59 minutes of your time. Now I want to know, how would you rate yourself as an influential storyteller now? Oh, wow, Natalie, you went from a 3 out of 10 to a 6 out of 10. That's a huge improvement. Tell me, what would it take to get you to a 10 out of 10? Now, Natalie unmutes herself. She's talking about, okay, well, I learned this, but I think I really need this. I need to go away and practice this. Brilliant. Now you can set Natalie an assignment. This is real shit. Okay, this is real shit. I've taught this, I use this, and it works every time, man. It works every time. Try it, but contextualize it to your energy, your personality, your swagger, and the context of your industry. Okay, and what you teach. Medium friction question. Make it quantitative. Okay, the final question. A high friction question. This is a qualitative question, and it could look a little something like this. All right, people, I've got you for the next 57 minutes. And what I'd love to know is if there was one problem that this presentation could solve for you, what would it be? If there was one problem this presentation could solve for you in the next 58 minutes, what would it be? You've built energy, you've built momentum, you've built trust, you've reduced skepticism. As a result, you will get responses to this question if you've executed the prior two efficiently and effectively. Now, if you ask this question off the bat, if you just came out on this virtual stage and said, all right, people, so head to the chat function. What big problem are you suffering with right now and how can I solve it? You may get a response, but it may be fake. You may get a response, but it may be surface level because people don't trust you and they don't feel psychologically safe enough to give you an honest response yet. You just won't get the juice that you truly desire from this question unless you ask it at the end. So here's the beautiful thing, man. Here's the beautiful thing. Now people feel safe enough to give you their truth. Oh, Ravi, I really want to learn how to structure a story on the fly, under pressure. Oh, Ravi, I really want to learn how to deliver a story with charisma. Now you're getting all of these micro problems in the chat. This is the holy grail because now you get to learn how to personalize your presentation on the fly and solve all of these micro problems. So for example, 3/4 of the way through the presentation, you could say, Jeremy, you said at the start of this presentation that you really struggle with brevity. Would you like to get involved in this exercise of how to deliver a story in a succinct way? Round of applause for Jeremy, man. Give him a round of applause. Now, you could do that throughout your entire presentation, throughout all of your learnings, you could contextualize it to the problems that were mentioned at the beginning of the presentation. You're not changing your presentation. You're just allowing now moments for personalization. Now, obviously, I've just given you 3 questions which suit what I do. You could just switch this and personalize the questions in accordance with your industry, your message, your expertise. You know what I'm saying? But it is as simple as that. Use the 3-question stack the momentum method for effortlessly receiving any audience's attention in a virtual setting. So what I'd like you to do is before your next virtual presentation, don't wing it. Don't wing it. Okay, before your next virtual presentation, don't wing it. Write out a script, okay, for these 3 questions. Remember, question number 1, closed-ended, low friction, low vulnerability. Question number 2, a quantitative question, high level of vulnerability, medium friction. Question 3, high levels of vulnerability, a qualitative question that requires more conscious effort. Each of these 3 questions will build a beautiful foundation for you to then go on and share your expertise throughout the remainder of that talk. Now, remember, people, you don't need to ask it in the same way I do. It needs to suit your personality, your swagger, and your energy. If I've said that already, I'm going to say it again. It needs to suit your personality, your swagger, and your energy, okay? Now, pro tip. What you could do is write them out, stick this, write out the questions, by the way, is what I'm talking about, and then stick this on a yellow sticky note, the 3 questions, right near your webcam. If you're worried about forgetting what you're going to say, stick it next to the webcam so you don't lose yourself. Okay, so you don't lose yourself. Now, this will require you to get the reps in. This will require practice, but I promise you, this will not fail you if you do it in a way that's authentic to you. And hey, if you loved today's video, if you enjoyed today's content, then you will love my newsletter, Influential, which gives you content like this in text form. If you're feeling this, then hey, head on down to the link in the comments and subscribe, and I'll see you on the other side. Peace.